Hey there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my BitChute YouTube simulcast together. This is Dr. Games 101. A little bit of a little sort of explanation of when I want to explore the matter. To those that, as I'm starting to gain more notoriety or on this internet, via especially YouTube, if possible on YouTube, but definitely on BitChute, and I guess you say people are starting to recognize what I've been doing for the last several months, if not a couple of years. I've been on YouTube since as early as 2006 as a user. But then by 2008, 9, give or take, I was a video creator. You want to call like them? I make videos and upload to YouTube since then. And since 2015, I've been a YouTube gamer of sorts. You want to call like that? Even though I'm not making much money off it. If you want to donate, that's up to you. Everybody's down below. So anyway, guys, you want to see yourself what the title states in this video of, not every big and tall person is going to make it to the professional athletics, especially that of the NFL, the NBA especially, or even MLB. But the problem though with me was that most baseball players, professional baseball players that we see on the TV or radio, whatever, they're not over 6'5". At best, they're like 6'2", maybe like 6'4", if they're lucky. And the taller you are, the hardest to bend down to do the baseball swing and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say with this matter here. So no matter how young you are and how much of a tall, big player you are, you have to have a certain mindset in order to make it in these professional athletic, concepts, or these, the athletics you want to call like that. Being an athlete, things I'm for the NBA and NFL. And I'm starting to realize that over the years, it's like, I could have, I should have, but I didn't make it, or I didn't want to go pursue professional basketball player, athlete, you want to call it like that, or a professional football player. And it's from my mindset, like I said. It's all about who is in your life, how much it can push you, especially if you have family that's like, of a male role model. If you're a male athlete or can be a potential male athlete, usually the male of your family will be the one who encourage you. Look at Tiger Williams. Tiger Williams. Tiger, whatever his name is, the golf player, Tiger Woods, yeah, Tiger Woods. Like, he had his father back him up since he was a kid, doing the repetitious practice of golfing. And he became a fucking professional by the age of what? Not even 25, not even 21. Actually, I heard back in 1987 he made a mainstreaming of the Pro Golf Association, having the green jacket and all that good stuff. So kudos to him. Peace. Good job. But me personally, and I'm sure there's guys out there who are just regular size, no matter what you are, we don't have that father in our lives as much. I mean, depends on how you look at it. My father died when I was like about 6 years old, so 1994, I was like 6. So since then, it was just my mom and her working and maintaining the household and things like that. While I'm going to school and learning about, she wants me to be this educated black man. That's the mantra back in the 90s. You gotta be the educated black man. You gotta be like, Tupac in the suit, like what's it called, like like Kevin Samuel said before his death. He actually said black girls, they want a Tupac in a suit. And it's like, he got a good point. It's hard to find that. You cannot have athletic and also education at the same time of the same person. I mean, it's possible. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's some guys out there with that, but there's like give and takes of many things. I'm considered to be like over a certain amount of height, a certain amount of weight. I could go for wrestling, be the next black version of Yokozuna or whatever. Not right this second. Perhaps after I turn 40, if I'm not into being athletic, any of athletic physique or athletic ableism, you want to call it like that, then I'm not be able to go for the professionals of anything. But NBA, NFL, I'm too old for that right now. It's too late, and I acknowledge it. And I do have regrets to some extent. Not like, oh my God, I could have made millions of dollars, because this came across me when I was on the bus, minding my own business half the time, during my time, then I'm got guys like look at me like when they say, "Oh man, you're a big dude," and they start still talking about me after I walk past by them. They say, "Oh man, this guy could have been NFL or the NBA. He lost more weight and stuff like that." And it's like you have a point, but you have to understand is the circumstances involved. Like most black males in general back in the '90s, based on my experience of this, most of them are fatherless. You know, they have no father in the home, or that their father died at a very young age. Perhaps the father was in jail. Perhaps the mother of that child hold back the relationship between the father and the son. The baby mama drama is called, in other words. Those guys, you know, it's going to be hard as hell to find success in them. Overall, it can be about being a professional football player or a businessman working for Nintendo or anything of that sort. It doesn't matter to begin with. However, though, they say there's a trade-off to what you want from certain guys, and I know I'm drawing this out, but you know this is what I'm starting to see, or I'm starting to pick up, and I've been knowing about this for quite some time now. I knew that guys will look at me like, "Oh, why you ever been in the professionals?" Like, it's not about always going in there for physics only, or the physicality of the matter. You have to have the mindset of the matter too. And not every guy will have that. I don't care how big you are, how tall you are, how short you are, how small you are. You're not going to find every single time a perfect tradesman. What I mean by tradesman, I mean like you're not going to find both the physique of the gods and as smart as Albert Einstein at this very same time. I, for one, on the other side, where I was more of the not Albert Einstein, but you know what I mean, like the smartness, the intelligence of the matter. I was reading newspapers left and right when I was younger, as early as 8 years old. And then by the time I got to the stream for a few years, I was in the library every week for a few hours. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. That sounds like a virtual signal, whatever. Go on. What do you think of it as? I don't care anymore because it is what it is in my life. And now I'm currently doing something about it. I have been doing something about it on whether it's on for years or have been throughout my whole life. And that's to lose the grandiose of the weight. I know that sounds very weird to be saying that, but it's like, you know, it's a never-ending situation being a big person, no matter what height you are. And for the last few months, I know, especially the past couple months, I've been feeling better because I've been getting better medicine from the doctors. Also, the fact that was a good boost in my energy, feeling less pain, and having different conditions involved with my health involved. So, and also I lost how much, you know, the ability to, over the couple of years, of losing stamina because of the COVID-19 pandemic things that matter. Because before then I was going to the gym every week, and during the week I'll do I'll do other things around the house, doing chores or whatever. I'm out there, you know, shopping, whatever, right? And then for the last couple of months now, I've been going in and out of the gym. And yes, I know it's been a few weeks I haven't been at the gym per se in a consistent manner, but I do try to do exercise at least every other day, 15 minutes in the morning. And then for the last couple of days now, do a few exercise routines at night with the sit-ups. You know, I try to do more sit-ups now. And I feel like I have better posture now, even though it's only been a couple of days for the sit-ups only. But involved with the circulation of the cycling, that is the circulatory matter, is a cardiovascular exercise, cycling, have a mini bike, whatever. But it's a never-ending quest, guys. And Boogie 290 can attest to that. I'm not saying he knows everything about the matter, but he's been through what has been, I'm sure he's been going through pretty much his whole life up until a certain point, up until like, what, 3-4 years when he did the gastric bypass surgery. And I can't blame him, man. I mean, you do you. You know, it's a life-saving mechanism or procedure. It was life changing as well. It's like after when you take that surgery, and my cardiologist told me I should lose some weight, and yes, and I have been. I've been getting in there for quite some time now. Before then, I was not able to walk properly, especially during the first half of 2021. I was wobbling, I was moving around, was huffing and puffing. Now I feel like I'm more energy, and now it's more this like the more I move, the better type of motive. And guys, you know, don't end up like where I'm at, where it's like you're doing catch up with your life. Whereas if you want to be in the wrestling industry, or you want to be a wrestler, as early as when I was like 14 years old, I wanted to be a wrestler. But the problem was that I wasn't too. I had time. I had a lot of time on my hands. And during the summer of 2003, I think people can attest to me, or will come from my high school that is. I was at the Valley Stream Park. It's called State Park. There's the regular Valley Stream Park, and there's also the State Park across the street. And the further you go in, the more it's turned into a state park. But the Valley Stream Park, I was in there, in around doing laps. See, each lap was about a mile, if not a half mile at least. At least a half mile. It got to be at least a mile, to my awareness. And I do it over and over for up to about, I would say 10 miles. Sometimes I'll do 15 if I push myself. And I lost like 60 pounds within like 2 months. I know it sounds crazy. 60 pounds in 2 months, man. Like, you must have been killing yourself, Charles, right? And it happened. I actually developed. I also gained better health overall, but I still have other matters at hand. So it's kind of like a give and take, like I said. You consider yourself to be the square, or the fat guy, as well as being a square of the group. And I don't care where you're from. There's a certain extent where you're from, though. Where I lived, people call it the ghetto. Especially back in the 90s, it was called the ghetto. Not only that, we have a tennis court, we have a shopping mall, things that matter. So you already know where I live, to some extent, and it's not an actual ghetto. If it was a ghetto, it would have been like shots every single day at one point. It was like that back in the early 90s in my town. It was high crime everywhere. So it's like, it's all about the mindset. It's about fear, being indoors a lot, not getting shot, and playing my video games, stuff like that, reading books, reading newspapers. So what I'm getting at is that don't assume just because of the fact that person you see on the street, that person you see on the bus or train walking amongst the crowd is big and tall, and you wonder to yourself, why is he not part of the athletics of the matter? But you have to understand, though, statistics show, there's statistics out there, there's a statistic out there. I'll try to look for it, put it down below in the description box. Statistics show that if you try to enter any athletic, like NCAA college basketball, or the national college football, stuff like that, you're lucky to be, I would say, about 1% of the 99% that was part of high school athletic sports. Meaning that if you're a high school student and you're going into high school basketball, high school football, whatever, I would say about 10 of those members of those particular athletes, of that 9, they're lucky. They're not going to make it. They're not going to make it to the NFL. They're not going to make it to the NBA. I was one of those 90 percentile, if you want to call it like that. While the rest of the 10%, 99%, whatever the remaining amount is, they will go into the sport, and if they're lucky to be like the next Michael Jordan, they're lucky to be next LeBron James. So if you're that 1% or that 10%, by God, you're getting somewhere in life. And I met some potentials on Xbox Live who told me that what they went through, and they're going to keep at it. And I told them to keep at it too, because it's a struggle. You can't just go out there thinking that like you'd be like the next super athlete, like Devil May Cry Dante, or hybrid with like revolver ocelot reflexes, kind of like that matter, and then be like the next beyond Michael Jordan, beyond LeBron James. Like, it has to work from a very small age. Very small age. You have to build them up from the ground up. You can't start them when they're like 13, 14, 15 years old. Personally, myself, that's what happened to me at 14 years old. I was like, guys look at me like I'm like, detestable. Or whatever back in the 90s. It was about making fun of the fat kid, right? Oh, look at him, he's fat, fat ass, or fuck you, fatso, and stuff like that. 4 eyes, the typical shit. And I mean, after a while, you get to me, and I meet people at the college who are like that. After a while, I'm like, college. The first college I went to was just horrible. It was the lowest common denominator of that stuff. So, I knew what I was going to be part of college athletic sports. It was the NJCAA, it's called, basically the National Juniors uh, basketball or football even. You're lucky to get a basketball team with that college. And that college, it was a life changer right there. Another moment in my life. But I still keep pushing. I still go to the gym whenever I can. After a certain age, I think it was 2015, around October, November, I started going to the gym for the first time in a few years, easily. And since then, I've been going to the gym at least, trying to go to the gym at least once a week. Like I said, during the pandemic back in 2020 in March, New York City was shut down. The whole city was just like ghost town since then. It still has some liveliness in the matter, but it's not the same before 2019. People, it really isn't. I'm telling you, it's not like if this happened back in the 1990s, people would be pissed off to the government, especially to the state government, if not the city government of Mayor Rudy Giuliani with his ties to the mafia and stuff like that, and Al Sharpton. We find out later after 2014, the guy Al Sharpton was part of the FBI. He was working for the FBI with the mafia and stuff like that. I didn't find this out until after 2013. All this stuff coming about Barack Obama's birth certificate and the economic crisis of 2008, 2000. Now it's called 2007, 2008, whatever, right? But the point is, like, it's at the right place at the right time for right things to happen, and that's what you have to understand, guys. Especially to my people who are around my age, but not only around my age, but also to ones who are younger than 25, if ever. Because let's face it, guys, if you don't do anything for yourself right now, and the younger you are, the better. Because if the older you get, it's harder and harder and harder. I'm telling you, man. Whoever's watching this, I don't care if it's my friends on Xbox Live, or it's people on another side of the world. It can be also here in the United States, in the Midwest, and you play your games all day, every day. Nothing's gonna change, but you gotta make the change yourself. That's what I realized too for quite some time now. And I wish I could go back 10 years, just at least 10 years. Dude, I would be a beast right now. Maybe I'm not jacked up and shit like the next Scott Steiner or Triple H even, but like Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, who else? Maybe Matt Hardy in his 40s, early 40s. Matt Hardy's right now is in early 40s. Last time I checked, like that, doing some leg drops, doing for wrestling, whatever. But to no avail, right, guys? But yeah, being involved with athletic competition, you have to have the mindset beyond belief. Like, you have to be like in there. You gotta go in it. You gotta go in it. Like, you just can't. You have to have the mindset. That's what comes first. It's the mind, the proper regimen, the proper everything comes in after that. And that's a continuous thing for me into my adult life. So, Boogie 288, I congratulate you on your weight loss. No matter what you were doing, I'm sure you did good, whatever. As one example, I'm just saying, there's other people out there, I'm sure. Nick Avocado might have to hold back on his eating, though. If anyone watches this, though, that Nick Avocado is, he's one of those big YouTubers that eat a lot of food called mukbang or something, where you eat like a 20-pound lobster and like 10 Big Macs. 4 pounds of fries. I mean, Nick Avocado is a crazy motherfucker for eating all that stuff. Because if I did that right this second, you will not see me anymore after a certain week or two. I'll probably be in the hospital after eating all that stuff. And I'll probably be sick to my stomach for the first time doing that. Now, yes, do I eat a lot? Yes, I will admit that. But not like Nick Avocado. I don't eat a 20-pound lobster in one sitting. I never ate that kind of lobster before in my life. He had the money, though. That's good for him, right? But the health effects, the health problems after that. Now he's on sleep apnea right now. I used to be on the machine. I had the machine over there still after all these years. Don't end up like Nick Avocado. He's worse than me right now. You thought I'm worse because I'm not doing my own thing? Because he was skinny, Nick Avocado. That's the fucked up part. So I don't understand about this fat acceptance movement. It's bullshit. I'm saying, of course, there's a chance that you're not going to make it no matter what. You can be the most athletic person in high school. You can be the best football player at that high school of its history. There's a chance you're not going to be able to make it to the NFL because there's that much competition involved and a smaller pool of athletes. Now, if you want to be a wrestler, it depends on where you go in the country, if not the world. And what I've realized in the United States, Vince McMahon, like him being the owner of WWE, he can hire random people if he wants to, jobbers and losers, when I call it the heels and stuff like that. So personally, myself, yeah, I don't see myself really going into wrestling anytime soon. And if I did reach by the time I reach 40 years old to make it to that level of athleticism, to more power to me, right? I mean, the Boogeyman, not Boogie 2988, not that guy. We're talking about the wrestler Boogeyman. With the Boogeyman, I'm coming to get you. It's he was wrestling. He started wrestling for the WWE as early as like 2005, and he was like not even. He's got to be over 40 at the time. Now he's pushing 60s, in the 60s, of course, and he retires recently. Last time I checked, that is. So, more power to the Boogeyman wrestler. I like you. You're my favorite wrestler still to this day. I like when you did that Boogie Slam and the two-handed choke slam. It was awesome, man. And WrestleMania with Booker T and Sharmell, that was perfect. I wish I had that kind of opportunity to not only wrestle before 40, but also make it to WrestleMania after a year's worth of a contract for the WWE. That would be the dream right there come true. Alright guys, I appreciate you for watching. Thank you very much for watching for the last 20 minutes of my bantering and ranting. Please thumbs up, subscribe and share, donate if you want. Everything's down below in the description box. I'll try to look up those stats later on. And have a nice day guys. I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully I do a gameplay sometime this weekend. I got a lot of work to do for the next couple of days. Thursday, you might see me doing Thursday night, excuse me, probably 10 p.m., 10:30 Eastern time, that is. Thursday night, I'll try to do some gameplay with Triple J. Will play the game Split Second. So I'm going to download to my Xbox, and we'll have a good time for an hour or two. And then by the weekend, I can see more gameplay later on. We'll be playing more of, I think I was going to play the Sega, I'm supposed to do this Sega thing, the Capcom Classics Collection Volume 2, as you can see here. So, yeah, it's, excuse me, yeah, it's I never played this. After all these years of having this, I gotta play with you guys one day. So, all right, guys, I'll see you around. Bye.